Hello, everyone. It is Anne here at Unleash Your Inner Witch, and this is a pre recording of the live that we were going to have this Friday. Today is when you'll be seeing it. I'm on vacation, and I wanted to make sure you got this information because I love it, and I didn't want to rush through it being on vacation. So this one's going to be meatier because I won't be here to answer questions. But if you do have any questions, since you will be all watching on a replay, please tag that below, and I will answer any questions you may have. So let's get started. I am Anne here at Unleash Your Inner Witch. I specialize in helping you connect to your higher self while experiencing traditional witchcraft so that you can unleash your inner witch. And there is a lot of traditional witchcraft that we will be talking about today. Now, last live, we were talking about cleansing and organizing, spring blessings, uh, uncluttering our mind and our home so that we feel more open and calm. Again, remember, uncluttering our home unclutters our mind, uncluttering our space. If it's not just your whole home, it's your space, your desk, your altar, your bedroom. Just those little things helps unclutter our mind. But in addition to cleansing, to not cleansing, to it's cleansing, cleaning, and organizing our space, spring is also a time to bring in positive energy and blessings. So today we are going to talk about some ways to incorporate spring blessings into our witchy spring cleaning. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is plantings. This is a great time to start our seedlings for our gardens. So herbs, flowers, trees. Planting these things can bring in new growth and positivity into your space. So it's perfect for putting into your home this time of year to bring in that new growth at the beginning of the year. You can also bless the plants with intentions before you plant them. So herbs have been used for centuries in witchcraft. So that is something we're going to talk about specifically. They've been used for centuries for their energetic and medicinal properties. We're going to talk about some of the most common herbs found in a witch's garden. Now, this is lavender, rosemary, sage, thyme, mint, basil, chamomile, parsley, and rose. All things you've all heard of, but we're going to talk about why. So, the first is lavender. Now, lavender is known for its calming properties, which is why we see it in our bath soaps and our sleep sachets and um, baby's bath soaps. Baby Magic and whatnot have it now. But it's also used for purification and protection. It can also lavender can also be all of these are safe to eat. They teas. One of our local breweries has a lavender beer. It's fantastic. Or pardon me, a lavender cider, which is fantastic. Um, it's an acquired taste, but it is edible, so it can be. You can have teas and whatnot as well. The second thing on the list, the rosemary. Um, Rosemary is associated with memory, but again, it is also used for protection and purification. Rosemary is also used to promote happiness. And I don't know about you, but when I use rosemary in cooking, especially fresh rosemary, I love the smell of it. Fresh rosemary. My friend Kat used to have a rosemary bush in front of her rental property, and I would just walk past it and like rub my hands in it. Like I love the smell of it. It just makes me happy. So when I started researching more on rosemary and saw that it was used to promote happiness, I had a chuckle to myself because I just really love the smell of it. And again, edible. I don't know about a tea, but I have taken the stalks, the hardier, heavier stalks, and strip the leaves off of it and use it in my cooking. And then I take those leaves or those stalks and I skewer chicken on it and use that as my skewer. Fantastic. I love it. Kitchen witchery. There you go. Another one is sage. Now we've all We've all used sage. We've all heard about sage. Sage is, again, used for purification and to clear negative energy. We find it a lot in our smudge sticks or our smoke sticks that we use for cleansing and smudging. Any of these can be used as the dried herb in a, if you want to create your own smoke blend in a cauldron. And sage is one that you can use. Again, fantastic in cooking. Love it with chicken and pork myself personally. Sage has beautiful leaves. They're kind of fuzzy, most of the sages. It's a fantastic herb all around. Now, thyme is associated with courage and also used for protection and to promote confidence. I love putting thyme. I like taking a blend of the majority of these, not the lavender, mint, or the flowers, the chamomile or rose, but the rosemary, sage, thyme, basil, and parsley. I love taking a blend of these and making an herb soup with a lot of vegetables, hearty vegetables. Doesn't even have to have meat in it for my approval. My husband likes meat. He's the carnivore in the family. But my children and I just love it with the herbs and the vegetables. So again, courage, associated with courage, used to promote confidence. So this is something that if you have something going ahead that's you're kind of nervous about, but you need to get it done, this is a great thing to use in that smoke pot. The next is mint. Mint is associated with abundance, so great in your money spells, for wealth, success, and to attract positive energy. So always, always, always does mint go in my my money spells or my money bowls that I keep around that I make at the beginning of the month. And it's good. It's an attraction, good for attraction, just positive energy as well in those smudge pots. In the kitchen, great with lamb and really those stronger tasting meats, lamb, sheep, goat, venison in some applications, bear, those heartier, stronger meats. Mint is really good with those. Basil. Basil is associated with love and used for protection and to attract positive relationships. I personally love basil. When I do basil in my garden, we have 3 to 10 varieties. It's one of my favorite herbs. I love the smell of it. Thai basil is one of my favorite basils. I love Oriental, ethnic, Asian, across the sea, their foods, all those islands, island foods, and they are very heavy on basil. I grew a Greek basil called Aristotle this past season that had the tiny, tiny leaves. So it was great, especially if I was in a hurry to put basil in something. I could just strip the leaves and throw it. I didn't have to chop it up. Basil is great. I guess the most known dish with basil would be Ray, what's it called with the tomato and the mozzarella and the basil? Look it up for me. I love doing that with a mozzarella ball and a cherry tomato and a piece of basil in between them and skewer it. You probably all know what I'm talking about, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. Are you Googling? She's Googling. Again, a basil is associated with love to attract positive relationships. So if you're looking for that, or if your current relationship is in a little bit of a struggle, that is great in your smoke pots. The next is chamomile. Now everybody knows about chamomile tea. Chamomile is associated with peace, so it's used for calming and promoting sleep, bringing peace to the mind and body. They have the most adorable little white flowers. They're the size between a nickel and a dime, just tiny little white flowers, delicate leaves, and a yellow. The stamens is a yellow core. Adorable little flowers. So we've all had chamomile tea, or we've heard about it if we haven't had it. Um, I don't like sugar or sweeteners in my teas, so it is a very mild tea, very light flavored. Um, if you wanted to dry your own or pluck it and use fresh to steep your tea, that's fine. Dried, you can use it in your smoke pots for clarity and peace of mind, promoting sleep, just a relaxation. Great to use during meditations or yoga if you're trying to relax. Did you find it, Bug? Okay, hold on. Let's see. It's gonna drive me crazy. Basil. Caprese. That's what it's called. Um, the tomato basil mozzarella caprese. Caprese. I think I'm saying it right. Probably wrong. Kat can correct me if she sees the recording. um, the next on the list is parsley. Now, parsley is used a lot for garnish. Parsley will cleanse your breath if you chew it raw. It is associated with renewal and used for purification, protection, and promote health. Great for health and wellness spells. Um, Used fresh in a lot of dishes. Um, Usually added at the end so you keep that bright green freshness. I use it dried in a lot of my recipes. Um, a lot of them is for aesthetics, but I also use it I use it in almost everything I cook, especially my soups. Um, Chicken soups, it's always in there, so I guess that's a promote healthy thing, right? There are several different types of parsley while I'm at it. There's Italian parsley, there's flat leaf parsley. Italian parsley tends to have a little curled leaves. Flat leaf parsley is just that flat. Tends to get mixed up a lot in the grocery store with cilantro because it looks a lot like that. So the last one is another flower. It is rose. And rose is associated with love, used for protection, to attract love, to promote peace and happiness. You can use dried rose petals in spells. Rose is an edible plant. You can make it for tea. You can decorate with it. You can put it in dessert dishes and whatnot for adding that love and attraction and happiness to your um, romantic desserts and dinners. So those are just a few of the herbs used in witchcraft. There's many. Um, the herbs you choose to use in your garden will depend on your individual needs and intentions, but overall, those are our basics that are very commonly used. Now, the second is water blessings. Blessing water can help purify and revitalize both your mind and space. This can be done by adding essential oils, crystals, etc., to a bowl of water, or by performing a full water blessing ritual, which I'm going to show you today. Like I said, I wanted this meaty so you didn't, if you had any questions, hopefully I answer them. So, the water blessing ritual, you will need to do this: a bowl of pure water, distilled, anything from a bottle. If your water is fresh and filtered, well water. I love using well water, or filtered water is great. But if you're going to be using it or drinking it, just make sure it's a clean water. So, a bowl of pure water, a piece of quartz crystal or another stone, depending on your intention, because you're going to use this with intention. And I'm looking at myself in the video, so I'm sorry I'm not looking up at this camera. I need to move it. And then any herbs or oils that you want to add to it. So the first thing you're going to do, let's see, let's turn this off for a second. A water blessing ritual is It's a simple and powerful way to cleanse and purify water, to imbue it with the positive energies and your intentions, whatever you're using it for. You can make storm water, you can make moon water, you can make water for specific things. This one's for a positive energy, but storm water can be used for those darker spells if you do dark or gray magic. So this is just a basic guide for performing a water blessing ritual, and then you can set it with your intention. So for spring blessing, we're doing positive energy spring blessings. So the first thing we're going to do is gather our materials that we talked about before. Then we're going to create a sacred space. Phase 1, creating a sacred space. So you're going to find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Okay, you want to stay quiet. If you do circles, opening circles, you can do that. So the first thing we're going to do is light a candle, burn your smoke, your smudge, your incense for whatever you're doing. Do anything else that you do to help create your sacred space and peaceful atmosphere. The next thing we're going to do is cleanse the water. So we're going to hold our quartz crystal or whatever stone we're using over the water, and we're going to imagine a bright white light coming from the crystal. And if you're using another crystal, let's say you're using amethyst because you're doing, you want to create a protection water, imagine that purple. If you're using sodalite because you're trying to work on communication, you're going to imagine a blue light. If you're using rose quartz because you're setting a love or a self-love or self-help, those type of intentions, you imagine a pink light. So hold your crystal or your stone over the water. We're doing quartz crystal for this blessing, spring blessing. Imagine a bright white light coming from the crystal and flowing into the water. This light's going to purify and cleanse your water, and you can add the herbs and oils for these intentions, whatever you're using if you want to at this point. The next thing we're going to do is set our intention. You're going to close your eyes and focus on the energy of the water. Set your intention for the water, such as purifying, healing, bringing peace. You speak your intention out loud or silently to yourself if you are not in a place where you can do that. I do want to respect the fact that some of us are, especially the younger witches, are in the broom closet, but I also know older witches that can't be out because of their family's beliefs or whatnot. So if you can't speak it out loud, do it quietly to yourself. You could do this over a bottle of water. You don't have to have a bowl and all the fancy witchy looking things. Hold your stone in your hand over your bottle of water and speak your intentions silently to yourself. Set your intentions, purifying, healing, peace, what you're doing. In our next pace, we are going to set your intention was what I was talking about. I apologize. Setting your intention. The next step is to bless the water. We're going to hold our hands over our water. And again, if you're using a bottle, all I have is my cellar water here. But if you're using a bottle of water, can I get this in the frame? Yes. Okay. So if you're using a bottle of water, it's going to be blurry because it's out of my face, but you can just sit like this if you're in the broom closet. You're having to do this, okay? Come back up here so we're not blurry. So hold the hands over the water and imagine positive energy flowing from your hands into the water. You can say a blessing, chant, mantra in your head or out loud. Simply hold the intention of this energy flowing into the water. Now, after the ritual, you can drink the water, use it for cleansing, add it to your bath water, any other way, whatever aligns with the intention of what you're doing. You can set this, you can add, say there was, which one do I want to say here? Out of the herbs we talked about today, I'd say parsley. You promote health because you want to promote the health of your plants. You can use any of them for that were for protection, but you can, or just use the plain water, but set it with the intention of the health and wellness of your plants, and use it to water your seedlings, to promote, those blessings and the growth of those plants. And just to remember, again, anything you want to do with it, all of these, especially if you're adding the herbs that we talked about above, again, you can drink the water. You can use it to make your tea. You can, again, add it to, add it to your bath water, as part of your a self-care ritual. Use it in any way that aligns with the intention you put with it. You can use 1 bottle of water and do it every day. You can use a 5-gallon bucket if you're doing your garden. You can do this over while you use the crystal, hold it in your hand, find one that promotes growth and well-being, and hold it in your hand while you're spraying your garden. Just set those intentions. So the power of this ritual lies in your intent and your focus. So trust in the energy of the water and your ability to imbue it with those energies, and repeat it as often as you like. Again, it's great for watering your gardens, your self-care bath rituals. If you have animals that you're doing, this year I hope to add chickens to our repertoire, because I'm tired of paying so much for eggs. And when I water them, I will have this, those intention of them growing strong and healthy, to bless our family with their eggs. So there is plenty of ways you can use this to bless and purify your water to use. So the next thing we're going to talk about is spring cleaning spells. Now, these are spells you write specifically for cleaning and blessing your space and your positive energy. These can include affirmations, visualizations, intention setting. We're going to talk about a basic spring cleaning spell today that I wrote for blessing your space and bringing in positive energy. So you will need, for this particular spell, your broom or your besom, a white candle, sage or palo santo, a bowl of salt, and a bowl of water. And yes, you can imbue water that you up above to use for this. Now, I say a bowl of water, I do want to point out that for how we're going to be using it, having it in a spray bottle would be fantastic as well. So again, the first thing we're going to do, cleanse our space. But this one is physically cleaning the space. Dust, sweep, tidy up, however you're going to do it. You can do this one room at a time. You can do your whole house and then do the ritual however you want to do it. I wanted to talk more about this. I probably should have done it above, but I remembered it here. So cast a circle. If your practice calls for it, cast a circle. So what you're going to do for this is standing in the center of your space. If you're doing this as a whole home, you can stand in the center of your home, or what I visualize as the heart of my home is my kitchen. You're going to hold your broom or your besom in front of you, and you're going to visualize a circle of light, white light, forming around you, encasing this whole space. Not just you, but your whole home, or this whole room that you're cleaning, whichever one room you're doing, if you're doing it one room at a time. This creates a sacred and protected space for your spell. This isn't something you have to do, but if your practice calls for casting a circle, this is one way to do it for this particular spell. The next thing you're going to do is light your candle. It's a white candle. Light your candle, place it on the table or in your altar, and leave it burning while you're doing this spell or ritual. If it burns out, don't worry about it. It's not a problem. I like using a tall white candle for this, and I just leave it burning for however long it takes. The next thing we're going to do is smudge the space. We're going to light our sage or our palo santo, and we're going to use the smoke to cleanse the space. Start at your front door and move clockwise around your space, wafting smoke into every corner, into every room. Now remember that I said Always crack a window in every room if you're doing this whole house spell, because it pushes that old energy out, and anything negative, it forces the smoke forces it out. So if it's winter, do it quick. So you're going to move clockwise around your space, wafting the smoke into every corner, into every room. I have a goose feather that I use. My kiddo, when they do it, has a peacock feather. That's just her bird of choice. I was gifted the goose feather by geese. My husband and I were walking between his office and the airport one day. And I'm sure that this particular feather did not come from this particular flock. I could be wrong, but we heard geese, and I looked down and I saw a feather on the ground, and I picked it up. So that's what I use when I'm doing smoke spells. But so you just, as you're using your Palo Santos or your sage, you can either just use your hand or you use your feather and do it. So your front door, work clockwise around your space. So we would go door down through our den, into our office, through our laundry room, around the furry critter chinchilla that we have, up the stairs again into our bedrooms, make that circuit into our kitchen, into our living room, back down the stairs to our front door. So just that full clockwise circuit. And as you do this, say these words to yourself or in your mind. And it is: sage smoke, cleanse this space, purify this home, and bring in grace. Release any negativity and make way for positive energy to flow. The rhyming helps me remember it. Sage smoke, cleanse this space, purify this home, and bring in grace. And then release any negativity and make way for positive energy to flow. And I will leave that one up while we're talking about blessing this space, if you want to write that down. So in blessing the space, we're going to take our bowl of salt, and we're going to do the same thing. Sprinkle it around the whole perimeter of the circle. Now you could also, by the way, do all of this outside your home in a circle if you wanted. I like doing it inside my home. But so again, ball of salt, sprinkle, and I mean sprinkle. You don't have to leave a trail, just literally grains of salt. Sprinkle it around and do the same type of mantra. Salt of the earth, protect this space. Keep negativity at bay and hold this place. In the name of the elements, I bless this home. So that is part of bless this space. And that part was supposed to be on the ticker. That's where I lost it when I was typing. So again, salt of the earth, protect the space. Keep negativity at bay and hold this place. In the name of the elements, I bless this home. Now we're going to move on to the air. We're going to use our bowl of water and use it to bless the air. And this is where that water bottle, spray bottle comes in good. I put it on the finest mist. Or you can just use the bowl of water, dip your fingers in it, and do. Okay. So that is water of life, cleanse the air, bring in peace, and wash away any care. In the name of the elements, I bless this place. Water of life, cleanse the air, bring in peace, and wash away any care. In the name of the elements, I bless this space. Okay, I will put those back up real quick. If you need to double check your anything you wrote. Sage smoke, cleanse this space, purify this home, and bring in grace. Release any negativity and make way for positive energy. Salt of the earth, protect this space. Keep negativity at bay and hold this place. In the name of the elements, I bless this home. Water of life, cleanse the air, bring in peace, and wash away any care. In the name of the elements, I bless this space. And then we close your circle. You stand back with your broom, envision that light coming back to you, extinguish your candle or let it burn, but put out your sage or palo santo, and you're going to visualize that white light fading away. And that ends that spell. You can repeat again. This as often as you like to keep your space clean, blessed, filled with positive energy. Remember that your intention and focus are the key to the spell's effectiveness always. Another thing we can do are didn't type that one in for you. So nature walks. This is another thing. This is what we're going to wrap this up with. If you can go out this time of year, if you're in a place, whether it's cold or not, bundle up, stay safe, stay healthy. But spending time in nature at any time of year is a way. I'm sorry, my hair is tickling this thing and making it. Hopefully that hasn't been doing it the whole time. I just noticed it. But spending time in nature is a great way to connect with the energy of the earth and whatever season we're in, and these new shoots that are budding under the ground that we may not be able to see yet. They could be under the snow, under the dirt, but they are starting to grow and bring in this energy of spring and bringing blessings into our life. So if you can get out in nature and just imagine those things growing in the ground under you, it is a great way to connect to the earth. So these are just a few ways to incorporate spring blessings into your witchy spring cleaning and welcoming in those new beginnings of spring. The most important thing always is to find practices that resonate with you and set intentions that align with your desires. And hopefully this gave you some ways to bring in those spring blessings into your life. If you are in a part of the world where it's not spring, or you are in a super cold winter area where spring is going to come a little later for you, hopefully you can use this during your springtime when you're just a few months out, 6 to 8 weeks out from those first little peaks of spring that you will see in your part of the world. And please, if you watch this recording, leave a note for me for replay or recording in the comments. Just anything that, emoji it, heart it, like it, just anything that lets me know that you saw this today. And until I see you again, we will be live again next week talking about I believe it's inner power next week. Let's click on the thing. Yes, next week is all about our inner power, and I really can't wait to dig into that one with you. So again, is that yes, it is inner power. Is making sure I was on our events page. So again, I hope this really resonated with you today. If you have any questions, leave them in comments, drop me a PM. Remember that this month coming up, we have our wins workshop. I was so intent on the spring blessings, so I forgot to talk about this, and I'm not going to re-record it. So you're going to get it at the end. Our wins workshop, wisdom, intuition, nurturing, and shadow work. Wisdom, the ability to make sound decisions and understand the world through this combination of knowledge, experience, insight, our moral compass. We're gonna really dig into how that helps us connect to our higher self and unleash our inner witch. Intuition, trusting our own intuition. Intuition is just something we know. It doesn't come from direct observation. It may not be logical at all, but it's a gut feeling, that unconscious thought process that just gives us a sudden understanding and an insight where we know this is where we need to go, or what we need to do, or what's good or not good for us. We're gonna really get into why we should trust our own nourishment. That's anything that sustains or supports us. This can be physical, emotional, spiritual well-being, and food, exercise, relationships, hobbies, our witchcraft, any activities that bring us joy and fulfillment and that nourish our soul, and things that we can do to nourish and enrich our nourishment, grow our nourishment, and shadow work, of course, our that psychological personal development, exploring and addressing the unconscious aspect of our psyche, our personality, our fears, our insecurities, and integrate these parts of ourselves into our conscious awareness so that we can lead more authentic, fulfilling lives. And again, all of these things combined together wins and really gets into the heart of finding our higher self and unleashing our inner witch. Until I see you again, meditate. Yep, didn't forget. I didn't forget. Meditate. Cultivate positivity. Find somebody who makes you laugh. Spend time with them. Do your gratitude journaling. Sign up for our lives. Mark going so that you will get the notifications when we go live. Follow Unleash Your Inner Witch on Facebook if you haven't. If you're coming through Facebook or through the Unleash Your Inner Witch page, join our group www.unleashyourinnerwitch.com, which leads to Find Your Higher Self and Unleash Your Inner Witch. And as always, keep reaching for the stars. Even if you miss, you will understand where your higher power is coming from. Talk to you next time.